teach this really quick as to how mushrooms were figured out as to whether or not they were poison or what they were. Okay, no, people did not just randomly eat them. Well, they did a little bit. Some genius, I forget what his name is, because I did get to read about it eventually. Some genius pointed out and found out that if you wear a pair of gloves, and it was a lumberjack that did this, his hands were sweaty, and he had mushrooms everywhere, hungry. So that he knows the poison area and they were not to be eaten. So he decided, let me see these. So he picked up one of the most deadly mushrooms that they had known of. And he cupped it in his hand, in the palm of his hand, shroom cap down. So the top into the palm of his hand. You ever notice that when you eat mushrooms, you can feel a salvation when your hands are wet and your hands are moist from the mushroom? Our mushrooms that we eat are sprayed down with poison to keep them from, so that they can chip. So rinse your mushrooms. So it does the same thing. But he would hold them in the palm of his hand and wait 5 minutes of his sweaty hand. If it felt like fire, it was poison. If it felt numbing, if it made your hand go numb, it was a paralysis. Poison. If it made you nauseous, violently nauseous, it would make you vomit. And you can feel it through the secretions in your hand. On a dewy, misty morning, he would do these so the shroom caps were moist, as well as his hands were a little sweaty. He lived in the humidity, and he was a lumberjack and already had been cutting wood for a couple hours. Then he found that which ones you could eat. If it didn't give you any of those three, it's edible. However, some of them will cause kind of a numbing pain. Not a numbing pain, but a sensation around the corners of your eyes. That's hallucinogenic. Ringing in your ears. That, don't eat that one. It will cause schizophrenia. It causes delusional paranoia. And that's basically it. That's shrooms. Then there's others that you can eat that no side effects, and that's the normal one that we sell. And that we pollinate and we do. Don't know exactly how they pollinate them. They probably do the exact same process that I do. But yeah, I got to find out about it after I did my report. After I did my science fair project of proving that crickets pollinate shrooms. And that humans can do the exact same thing. That's when I got introduced to a book about this lumberjack and his journals. And that's it. So there you go. Now you know. So it's just a safety precaution to check your shrooms.